Hey, what's up, folks? Give me a moment. Okay, that should be okay. I think. Yeah, I think so. Wow. Okay, yeah, mic checks. Mic check. Stream check. And we'll see how long it goes. Probably 2 hours. 2.5. Who knows? Brum, 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 brum.
Time for some close quarters poetry.
Set, start. New teammate.
New teammate.
Equipment incoming.
Could have sworn there was more.
Equipment available.
Reinforcements.
See any sign of 'em. Take a breather, Maurice.
Oh! Dang it. Curse you, Chargers!
Reinforcements.
I hear you.
Killing spree.
Oh, good, it's still here.
Close quarters poetry.
Reinforcements.
More of that.
Cluster up. Double kill. Killing friends.
New equipment ready for pickup.
Today's a good day.
Overkill.
No, I think. No, I need my grenades.
Last enemy. Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop. Round start.
Where are they? Oh, there they are.
Running riot.
This is for everyone we lost. Damn.
Watch out, Jackal Sniper.
Dead hostile.
Points! I don't know what that means.
Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop. Round start.
Ah, excuse me.
Reinforcements.
Grenade!
Reinforcements.
Nice shot, Chief.
Reinforcements.
Nothing like watching a Spartan work. Those troops will remember this.
How can they remember if they're already dead?
Threat
Keep those eyes up.
eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop.
Dynamo grenades acquired.
Bonus round. Good luck.
Okay, that Marine went flying.
Overkill. Ten seconds remaining.
Victory is within reach.
New teammate. Set. Start.
Really? Thought it was gonna. Nah, whatever. I predicted in the worst spots. I hate you!
New equipment ready for pickup.
Reinforcements.
Forget your armor. Think about your dear old life.
Reinforcements.
Plasma grenades obtained.
Double kill.
Why are they always running? I'm right in front of them.
Reinforcements.
Oh, I can feel it in my hand. I'm being very stiff today. Oh, come on. I got... I bumped into one of the sandbags. I was about to move. I was gonna keep pushing left. But then I got stuck. Not just by the grenade, but literally on one of the sandbags.
Threat
That sandbag.
eliminated. Round over.
Let me see, wait, right?
Weapon drop.
When I turned... Yeah, I did. Son of a bee.
Round start.
Hell yeah.
What happened to that guy?
Good to have you back, Chief.
Double kill. Triple kill. Overkill. Reinforcements.
Grenade! And NPCs are blocking my way again. I'm getting blocked by a lot of terrain.
Good for now. I got this hunch that won't last forever. Nice field and ready for
Five enemies remaining. Last enemy. Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop.
Another win for the good guy.
My worst enemy as of now. Obstacle terrains and bumping into things while I have my back turned and strafing to the side.
Round start.
Terrible day.
Equipment en route.
the hell are the
Oh,
banished
wonderful.
enemies?
Black eye. I need to get close now.
Equipment available.
Reinforcements.
I got all day.
That's some fine work, Maurice.
Uh-oh.
Nightmare.
But if I did, I would
Oh shoot, wrong grenade. But I still got some.
Triple kill.
That's the way we do it.
Sorry.
Reinforcements.
Yes. Run.
Can't kill a handful of humans.
equipment incoming.
Nice work, Chief.
New equipment ready for pickup. Dynamo grenades obtained.
Jack the Sniper's taking aim.
Beauty. It defies description.
Thank you.
Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop. Bonus rounds. Good luck. Double kill.
Let's be honest. Without Chief, that could have gone south real fast. Target's down.
over.
Victory is within reach.
Oh, whoops. What's the next? No, they want to call it. Okay.
Victory.
Okay. I wish this game just had an option to turn off the flippin', literally flip the aim assist.
Set. Start.
PC users don't have that, as far as I'm aware. But why?
Double kill.
Heads up!
Double kill. Killing spree. Triple kill. Frenzy.
Please be.
Running riot. Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop. Round start. Reinforcements.
Oh.
Reinforcements. Reinforcements.
Equipment available.
Oh shoot. I dropped the wrong weapon.
Reinforcements. Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop. Round start. Double kill.
It doesn't discharge.
Reinforcements. Reinforcements.
Armor's breaking. Chalking off.
Enemy.
Incoming.
Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop.
New equipment ready for pickup.
Bonus round. Good luck. Triple kill.
You've outdone yourself today, Spar-Tan.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Ooh, I need to aim better.
Over.
Victory is within reach.
What is this thing? Was that always there? I could have sworn it was never there.
Victory. Perfection. Ah, this map again. Set. Start.
Hey, Ratchet, what's up?
Double kill. Triple kill. Reinforcements.
It's 2025 and no aim assist setting to turn it off.
Prince. I will
Hey, where'd it go? Oh. Oh, he did throw a grenade. Wah!
Double kill.
He panic fired, but he had eagle eye. Or jackal eye. Wow, I kind of partially got him. Where are you going? Ow.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Again? Oh wait, no, this time it's the S7 sniper.
Threat eliminated. Weapon drop. Round start.
You were the Banish. Ow.
On the field.
Oh, hello. Did I watch the Capcom? Yeah, I did. Disappointing. Well, except for the Capcom part. Whoa! Where did they drop the shotgun? something in the ARC system, did you? Yeah, I did. I think a lot of us did. But then, you know, in hindsight, I think most of us tend to forget. ARC System Work has other games besides fighting ones. So, definitely my bad on my part. One of those high expectation thingamajigs. So, it's not ARC's fault. If anybody was expecting a fighting game, yeah, that's on us. And yeah, to be fair, they did tease that what's his name, Daisuke, was gonna be there to talk about some new future game. And yeah, I guess some of us were expecting again a new fighting game. Heck, I saw some people in the comments saying they were expecting the return of Blaze Blue. But yeah, once again, right, Arc System Work does have other games, other genres than just fighting games. So, you know, you can't blame Arc for that. Heck, I'm pretty sure most people don't realize that they also published that Horse Girl anime game. Not the mobile one. There's a game on Switch. That's a party game of that IP. They don't own it. It's side games. But yeah, it's just again a matter of remembering that they have other types of games that they have developed and published. So yeah, it was, I guess you can call it disappointing, but only if you were expecting a fighting game like me. But when it's not fighting games that you're looking for, yeah, it's not bad. Double Dragon Revive. Although I know a lot of people are kind of like debating whether a 3D beat 'em up of Double Dragon would do fine. Bobble Bobble, I mean, come on, it's a fun puzzle game. Oh, hell. And what else? There was a new other game, but it had no gameplay. It just had an interesting art style. And there was like some other ones. Again, like, you know, it was not a presentation for me when you don't even remember remember what else they were showing off. As for the Capcom side, yeah, there was like a little developer notes on Resident Evil 9, how it came to be. Definitely the biggest highlight. Definitely the biggest highlight was Monster Hunter, the second free update. Honestly, I was kind of expecting another collaboration for Monster Hunter. But they did bring back some two monsters. One of them was from Monster Hunter Tri, which is pretty rare, I have to say. Because I'm sure some folks would remember Monster Hunter Tri, because that was a Wii exclusive, wasn't it? Whereas the previous, the original vanilla was PS2. And then there's going to be a summer festival, of course. So, layered weapons. So that's also good, because I know a lot of people would enjoy having customized having their own customized skins of weapons and armor sets. Like it's similar to like any other RPG, or one that I'm thinking of is like Neo, where you know you have the best armor, but you don't want to like mix match some other set, right? Or you don't want to give up that one piece because you know the stats are good or something, but you just don't like the design. So you can now customize it with layers. Honestly, something that should have been a thing since day one, but or even from the previous update. But hey, it's free, so it's happening. It's coming. In fact, yeah, the first wave of that second update comes live tomorrow, so expect some players returning back to Monster Hunter. And they should be returning to Monster Hunter Wilds because the game has been losing a lot of traction, and the player counts have been, you know, lowered, which isn't good. It had a really great start. The first update, you know, kept the hype going. People kept playing. But ever since then, after like a couple of weeks or 1 month after, people just kind of stopped playing and stopped talking about the game. Well, not everybody. I know some people would still grind that game because they're getting prepped for future updates. And hey, yeah, we don't have to wait too long. Capcom's been working pretty hard. And as somebody who doesn't play Monster Hunter, or the kind of game that it is, I can kind of tell that the second update is kind of like it needed to happen, but the contents don't look like it's going to keep the active players, you know, keep playing. Except for the event, I guess, the festival, because that comes at the end, right? Like at very late September or something, right? And that, I think Capcom did that on purpose, because unlike the Sakura Spring Festival, that came out early as soon as the update went live, right? And that was the moment when people would, you know, come back and play. But by putting a festival at the end of it, as like a closure to the second update, or not closure, well, you know what I mean. I say that makes it better. So it's like you come back as soon as the update goes live. Maybe you won't play as much halfway, but then as the festival comes, okay, I'm gonna come back and play. And by then, we're gonna get updates on the next, the third title update. So, again, at least that's what I think, what Capcom was doing.
Now to prove it.
Still, they really need to pick up the pace. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, I have a feeling some folks are eventually gonna give up on Monster Hunter Wilds, and that's not something Capcom needs at all. Since, you know, Monster Hunter is their biggest flagship game of the century, decade, just like what they did with Monster Hunter World. Although, to be fair, Monster Hunter World was a huge step up. It was like a next-gen game for the Monster Hunter game, right? Because, wasn't the last Monster Hunter game on the Switch, Generations or something like that? And I don't think there wasn't really a Monster Hunter game on PS3 and 360, right? The last Monster Hunter game was on the Wii, like in terms of like mainstream. I think it was like on the Wii U, right? No, there wasn't any PS3, right? Yeah, no, because it was mostly. I think it was at that time Capcom was like favoring Nintendo on releasing Monster Hunter games, right? There was a Monster Hunter game on Wii U, right? I swear there was. And then yeah, Generations came about on the Switch. Although Generations was a 3DS, wasn't it? Wasn't it Generations a port of the 3DS game?
Your team scored.
No Monster Hunter PS3. Ah, okay, so yeah. My memory is trying to jog. Yeah. Generations was a 3DS. Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, so again, my memory's kind of vague, but it's like bits and pieces I'm trying to remember. Hey, yeah, again, even if I don't play Monster Hunter, I still follow in a way. Anyways, but yeah, that's why Monster Hunter World was such a big deal. It was the next gen Monster Hunter game. Capcom played it carefully, put lots of love, creativity, and then, you know, after the game came out, huge roadmap of things that they were going to do for the future of Monster Hunter Worlds. It's why people have been playing it for so long, even when Rise came out. Although, to be fair, yeah, Rise was a Switch exclusive, temporary, limited, time-limited exclusive. Honestly, now that I kind of think about it, I don't think it was worth putting Rise on PS4, PS5, Xbox consoles, considering that, you know, Wilds was like around the corner, but you know, Capcom gotta spread the Monster Hunter love. Alright, it was also on PC as well, so again, just what was the point? Oh yes, money. And I guess other reasons. Monster Hunter was on PS2, PSP, Wii, 3DS, Switch. There was one for the Wii U. I'm sure there was one for the Wii U. But yeah, definitely not PS3. So yeah, it was before Monster Hunter World. It was where Capcom pretty much favored Monster Hunter on what was it, Nintendo. And then yeah, definitely in the past they just kept bouncing from one console to another. Excuse me. Oh yeah, and considering that, you know, for Xbox owners, for sure, it was a big deal by the time they heard Monster Hunter Worlds was going to be ported, get an Xbox port. So yeah, that's why they made a big deal out of it. Wow. Oh, hello. Aha! Here comes the danger. still trying to remember what was the name of the Wii U Monster Hunter. Well, I can always consult the internet later.
Set, start. Hill incoming.
Dang, it takes a whole clip.
Hill ready. Hill control. Reinforcement. Reinforcements. Double kill.
Heads up!
Reinforcements. Double kill.
Another trophy.
Oh my god. Feel like I'm getting shocked on all sides.
Reinforcements. Your team about to score. 5 enemies remaining. 2 enemies remaining. Hill, Guardian. Last enemy.
Valorous work, Spar-Tan.
Your team scored.
I saw a video of how
Weapon
YouTubers Jacksepticeye was blaming Mr. Beast for stealing thumbnails, and how Mr. Beast has been destroying YouTube as a whole on the platform of YouTube. And yeah, after seeing video samples of how Mr. Beast has literally been ruining YouTube, yeah, I totally agree with Jacksepticeye. And it's not just him. It's not just Jack. A lot of people were were all pointing fingers at Mr. Beast. So much so that Mr. Beast actually had to take down the ad video that he posted. The ad in question was something called ViewStat, I think that was called, where in the video he was advertising something like, oh, if you don't have the skills to make YouTube thumbnails, and using Photoshop, you don't have Photoshop skills, and you don't have the time to do it, well, hey, I got the AI tech for you. And my god, when I saw that video demonstration, I was like nodding my head, just realizing this. How did he think this was a good idea to begin with? Obviously, it's another take of people not liking AI whatsoever. And holy shite, if you ever hate AI and Mr. Beast all at once, yeah, that lone video is enough to make you. That video alone will make you pretty much hate both, 2 in 1. Did he survive that? Oh no, he's dead. Okay, which hammer was friendly and which one was enemies?
victory.
Anyways, yeah, the kicker about Mr. Beast's app. First of all, it's not an app that you can install and, go about your way. It's a subscription based. How much? $79.99 per month. That's like buying one full price game in Canada every month. Like, yeah, that's pretty much how much it costs. And what's even an insult to injury towards Mr. Beast is that there were already apps similar to him, way more cheaper. Like ChatGPT was like $8.99 per month, but it's just another AI slop, pretty much. But yeah. And then yeah, like I said, as soon as he got all the backlash, Mr. Beast took down that video. But his app is still running. And again, the idea is that if you don't have the time, don't have the skill, like literally out of his own words, out of his mouth, don't have the skills, don't have a degree on graphic design. Heck, he even insulted people in a way, not directly, but the way how he worded it made it sound like an insult to those who have or don't have graphic design skills. It's like AI artists. You can't call them artists because all they did was type in a bunch of words, which again, Mr. Beast demonstrated in that same video how it works. And then in the video I was watching, the guy covering the story replicated the wording, and the result was different, which is no surprise because that's what AI does. The whole app purpose is to take someone else's YouTube thumbnail and slap in your face on it and then call it a day. That's it. Like, again, how did he think that was a good idea? That's like if he took this thumbnail, my shitty thumbnail, which by the way I made out of Photoshop. I just took a screenshot of the game and prompt my mascot character that I drew, no AI shit. Like, he could take that, and instead of that meat bun face, or he could take that meat bun face and put it on another YouTube thumbnail, but the background will remain the same. AKA, yeah, plagiarism, theft, and yeah, not very creative. And once again, coming from a man who tries to make a tool out of convenience, but it's more like 10% convenience and 90% problems. So the video taking down the video was not going to fix the problem. He should have taken down the whole feature out of his stupid ass app. And on top of him getting sued by I think it was people in Mexico. Mr. Beast trying to play the good guy, trying to avoid controversy, but nah, he's now stacking it on himself. Just like a car accident, sometimes the accidents can occur by somebody else, but at the same time, some accidents can be caused by you. And that's what Mr. Beast was trying to do. He tried to steer out of controversy. Little did he know that one day in his life, he would be making a mistake. And yep, he didn't even talk back to Jacksepticeye or anything. I assume he kind of brushed it off, but he did take the backlash. But once again, not removing the app itself means he did not, what's the wording I'm trying to think of? Take action of his own consequences. Which means he's still going to attempt to market this whole AI thing. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, all those YouTube thumbnails that you've seen from Mr. Beast, I think it should be safe to say he's been only using AI to make that happen. All the while stealing the said thumbnail by some other YouTubers out there. Which might explain why I've been seeing more than 5 of the same ones with different faces.
Set, start.
This is pretty much how people lose creativity. No, not much originality these days. And that's a problem. This is why we what the kids call us boomers are a better are somewhat of a better generation. I say somewhat because yeah, we're not perfect. And on a unrelated topic, related issue of that topic, I started making my own sandwich instead of eating Subway sandwiches. I decide to take actions into my own hands is pretty much what I'm saying. Soon I'm gonna have to start making my own burgers. And maybe my own pizza. Who knows? Homemade stuff is good. Okay, make up your mind. Are you Who are you going for? Ooh, full ammo. I need to reload everything. Ooh. Excuse me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Threat eliminated. Round over.
Anyways.
Weapon drop.
What else did I randomly watch? Sometimes as I'm like drawing or doing other things on my computer or playing games, I just like listen to random stuff on the internet. What? Holy shit, you blended in. I thought for a second he like no clipped through the wall or something.
Ownership inbound. Ownership available.
Reinforcements.
I saw that. I did. I saw the whole thing.
Reinforcements.
Ah. was wondering who they sent. Really? That stopped you? It was just a tiny barrel.
Threat
Tis but a tiny
eliminated.
barrel.
Round over. Weapon drop. Round start.
Oh. Uh-oh. Here we go again. Get his head. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. Come on. There's stairs. Come on. You know how they work. What? Where did the jetpack brew go? Oh. I thought he was gonna jump over there. Oh shoot! I'm already running low. Nice, solid teamwork. Whew.
Threat eliminated. Round over. Weapon drop. New teammate. Bonus round. Good luck.
I was doing a little self-narrative on my last night, telling myself, what if I could make a video explaining why I love Hitman, it would go something like this. Well, this as in like, no, I mean that's what I would say, and then go on a long spree of what I know about Hitman so far, up until from its beginnings, how I know the franchise but never played it. Not until the soft reboot. And yeah. Oh shit! I shocked.
Triple kill.
I will say though, yeah, I remember from the very beginning
Overshield obtained.
how
Victory is
it was
within
just this one game, one franchise that I remember seeing whenever I went to a Blockbuster, didn't or even saw it from gaming magazines. No idea what it was. All I saw was a picture of a bald guy with twin pistols and then they made a sequel. Yet again, bald guy, twin pistols, wearing a nice suit. And that was it. It was a very confusing franchise for me when I was young, when I first saw it. Didn't know what the deal was. Even as growing up, I seen from more gaming magazines, I still had no idea what it was. And then as an afterthought, like thinking back on it now, there was probably a good reason as to why the game spawned so many sequels. And when a game has sequels, multiple sequels, then yeah, it would mean it's been selling. So, you know, in hindsight, I was like thinking, huh, if this IP's been spawning one sequel, one new game after another, then it has to be good. But still wasn't interested in picking it up for a long time. It wasn't until the soft reboot where they had a free-to-play version, which only gave you access to the training mode, and then that's it. Because ever since the soft reboot became a thing, it was back when Hitman was owned by Square Enix, and of course, yes, no, IO Interactive was in charge of the development. What the heck? I thought it looked like I no-clipped through the the rails. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so Square was in charge of budget and I guess market, where IO Interactive, you know, still to this day developed the game. I remember what people were not a fan of was how they were going to make it episodic. It was a style of the time. Games like Telltale's The Walking Dead, where each and every episode was paid DLC, you know? I don't know what the release gap was between how long each episode took up in terms of development. But it worked out until the second Hitman 2 came out, and then that's where pretty much IO Interactive's relationship with Square started to sour, where Square literally ripped the budget out of the developers' hands. And the strongest evidence out of that was the cutscenes. The first game had CGI cutscenes, whereas the second, none. It's like one of those still images that has like two frames of a character moving their arms, legs, and that's it, sliding. But at least it had color, unlike Soul Calibur 5 story. After that, yeah, you pretty much can tell that by the time Hitman 3 came out, budget was all there. They got the cutscenes back, and IO Interactive was no longer under Square Enix's hands. And it was at that point Square Enix was starting to dissolve their Western companies that they had bought. Like, remember the Tomb Raider reboot? Yeah, that was also a Square Enix Western focused game. And oh boy, good thing. It was a good thing, really, that IO Interactive got away when they saw disaster a mile away. Because otherwise, Hitman would have been absorbed by Square. And God knows what Square would have done to the franchise. I would just look at Tomb Raider right now. It's not in the best of place. Oh shoot, that's not that. That's not the plasma grenade. Oh god, I hate the same assist. Plus my shitty aiming doesn't help either. It just makes it worse.
Round over. Weapon drop.
Come on, man. Recently, I went back and played the remaster Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare 1, where it got a remaster. Played the multiplayer. Still as fun as I remember. Back in the old days, 2007, you know. We only had 3 kill streaks. Simple maps that were based off of the campaign. But yeah. There was at least that game in 2007 had an option to turn off the aim assist. Why can't Halo have it? Oh shoot, I just realized black eye is on. I wasn't paying attention to the skulls again.
Overshield available. Skill, instinct,
Oh shit. Oh, double shit. Dang it. I was close, but maybe actually no, throwing the shock wouldn't make a difference. Thank you. Oh, hello. The size of this thing takes up like 40% of the heads-up display.
Weapon drop. Bonus round. Good luck. Killing spree. Double kill.
Oh, thanks for the reminder, Steam. The Steam summer sale is live. You know what that means? Bargain sale of PC games. In fact, hey, speaking of Hitman, you can get the entire trilogy for only $7. But yeah, aside of Hitman, yeah. It's that time of the season for Steam to be banking money. Even though, yeah, you can call it chump change, but think about it. Like, if you can get the Master Chief Collection for only like, wait, how much is it now with the Steam sale? It is now, wow, in Canadian dollars, $12.49. And that's, remember, 5 games, 5 Halo games. And that's, again, quite a bargain to take up on. Now, but yeah, imagine that. But like I said, even though it may be chump change, but think about how much money for every copy that they make. And remember, since it's on Steam, Steam gets most of that profit. Yeah, again, think how many copies and how much money chump change they can make altogether. Whereas, say, if you bought the game in its regular price without the sales, there wouldn't be an incline of people buying it versus people who would buy it for a lower price. In a way, think of it this way. You know how McDonald's usually, sometimes during the summer, they sell their drinks for only $1? They use that ad to get people to buy a drink, which is only $1, small or medium. Now, normally, yes, you could just get a drink with a combo, but say if people just wanted just the drink, $1 is quite a bargain. People wouldn't buy it for whatever the regular price is, like $3.99 or something, right? I don't know. The $1 per person out there that comes to McDonald's literally every second, whether they dine in, take out, drive through. Think how much money McDonald's could make for just selling $1 a drink. How many people would come in versus, I guess realistically it would be no different, but my point is, $1, you'll see a mad rush of people coming in versus regular price, very few. And that's true too with video games or practically any product. You want that's why you wait for a bargain sale to happen, especially Black Friday, Boxing Day. I don't know, some other, or sometimes like retailers that have like their own specific holiday sale, like Cyber Mondays, like your Best Buy does that with electronic stores. Speaking of drinks, my cousin, just out of nowhere, he bought me a mini fridge. Problem is, I don't know where to put it. And I'm hoping that my room doesn't cause a fuse outage, a fuse to blow. I already have like a lot of stuff plugged in here, my laptop, the internet modem, my gaming consoles, and the TV. I do have at least 2 spare of outlet plugs, although one of them is hidden behind my clothing drawer. The other is just in an awkward place where I can't imagine putting it there. I could, but it would then be sitting on the table that I use to eat and drink. But I do have a mini table under my bed. But yeah, I say it's random because it was supposed to be his university graduation last week. Shouldn't it was supposed to be the other way around. I mean, when he comes back, yeah, we're gonna do like another we're gonna do a family gathering of his graduation. I couldn't go because uh I wasn't in the mood. I didn't want he was studying abroad through in the States. And yeah, I was just not I was not in the mood to do what is it, 6-8 hour drive there. I'm not a fan of road trips unless I mentally prepare myself, or unless I have to help my old man, my dad. Like last year, we had to go to another province in Canada, which was an 8-hour drive there and back home. So 16, just to make one delivery, a big ass espresso coffee machine. It was worth it though, and boy, I still remember when we stopped by to A&W, the province that I was in. It was a French speaking place. But no, they didn't know English. But oh my god, I don't know what, like I knew mentally like they were gonna ask me, they were gonna expect me to speak French. So I did for just a few bits, for like 2 seconds, and I was like, do you speak English? And yeah, fortunately, yes, of course they did. Although I could have just said combo 1 or 8, whatever. The numbers are there. Numbers are universal. So I felt awkward right there. But yeah, the road trip was nice and all. But would I do it again? Not honestly, not anytime soon. But anyways, yeah, it should have been the other way around. Oh, yeah, I better tell him that when he gets here. I'm going to tell him, you didn't have to do that. And what's funny is that I was thinking about getting a mini fridge. But the one that he got for me was like mini. Like, the one that I forgot that a mini fridge that can fit only like 4 cans exist. Whereas the ones that I've been seeing very often are like the size of a counter, like not a counter, like the height, in terms of height, kind of like the size of a living room table counter or something, where you can, I guess, fit in like 12 cans, because that's all I've been seeing. But then when I saw what my cousin bought me, I was like, oh yeah, those mini fridges exist. Hell, yesterday I went to my barber, my usual barber shop to get a haircut. He also had one too. Had I known that beforehand, I would have been like, oh, if I wanted a mini fridge, I could just find those models instead of the one that I saw on Best Buy. But hopefully it wasn't too expensive. Doesn't look high quality, but it looks pretty fine. I haven't tested it yet, but I should, just to see how it runs. And yeah, again, assuming that it doesn't blow off my fuse. Otherwise I have to go buy a fuse and then figure out where I can put this mini fridge. Anyways, give me a moment. I finally done all of the events in Honkai. And right on time too, because they were going to end like 3 days later. Which means the next update is coming soon. I think Tuesday. Yeah. One of the events was like some kind of like on rail racing, like one of those one of those drift car toys, where it's like rail by rail. It's kind of like that. It was a pretty fun event, mixed in with some Mario Kart items that you would use. And the fact that it was like a really quick event, I could have done that by the time it was out, but no, I did it by the last few. In a way, I did it by the last second. It was still worth it though. I got the Stellar Jades, and then there was a long ass roguelike event. Took much longer, and yeah, got all of the Stellar Jades that I could get. All that remains now is just grind, grind, grind for the next characters. Or I should say character, because there's only one character that I plan to gotcha. Was it called 3.4 or 3.3? 3.4. Just give me. I just want to see. Hmm. Okay, no, this doesn't help me. Whoops. No, you know what? No, this doesn't help me. I'm gonna look back on the special program. They got some reruns. Yeah, but hmm. Huh. Ever since Hoyoverse replaced some of the voice actresses, guess what the former actresses are now doing? I didn't see the full video, but it's kind of like one of those algorithms that popped up on my YouTube recommendations. Yeah, apparently they're crying that they want their job back. Especially the voice actress who plays as Paimon. Where the heck is this? Oh, before I forget, Genshin, the new permanent game mode that I mentioned, I totally forgot it happened yesterday or day before on Wednesday. Yeah, it's pretty decent game mode. The only thing that I need correction that I need to correct was the artifacts. So when I say you can choose artifacts, no, you're still stuck with, like, you can choose which one. Actually, you know what? I might as well demonstrate it. Never mind. I can't explain it. I'm not good at it. Yeah, it's a new type of game mode where you can spend your resins on artifacts while you can choose one of the three bosses. You can also choose. Of course, you can choose the difficulty setting. Normally, you're gonna stick to like hard mode, where the artifact drops will give you 2. 2 5-stars. But I'll explain more when I swap games. Now that I'm talking about that, just give me a moment. I just need to see where the heck is this. How come they don't demonstrate? Oh, here. After its launch on July 11th. July 11th. Oh, okay. So I'm guessing the Fate Night characters for Honkai don't come out until Phase 2. If going by, let's see, the calendar. That's a Friday, though. That's on a Phase 2, then. Okay, wait, hang on. I just need... you know what? I'm just going to type it in on Google. When does Saber come to Honkai Star Rail? July 11th. That's after the update goes live. Whatever. I'll just keep an eye out on that then. Check out on the dates and then yeah. Anyways, yeah. Regarding the Genshin new game mode. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna talk about that after because I need to see this for myself. Because there was one thing that I guess I didn't somehow catch on. How do I do this again? So yeah, it's a new permanent game mode that has like a monthly cycle. And by monthly cycle, I would assume every month they change the three bosses. Okay. And yes, just like the Spiral Abyss and the theater, whenever they reset, yeah, you do get rewards such as Primo Gems, and then when the monthly cycle resets, you can get those rewards again. And this is exactly why Hoyoverse lowered the Primo Gem gifts in the Spiral Abyss. Remember, back then, the Spiral Abyss was offering roughly 1,200, I think, or 1,200 Primo Gems, and it wasn't a monthly cycle. It would be every 2.5 weeks or something like that, which is crazy if you think about it. Like, especially whale players, that to whale players, they would be earning free Primo Gems for being, a pay-to-win player. But as soon as the Imaginarium Theater came out, they started to lower it to now, I believe it's only 3... Wait, is it 8? I think it was 800. And then not only that, they extended to making it a monthly cycle. So, of course, you can imagine as a whale player, you'll be like, what the fudge? What? 800 per month now? Oh, I don't like that. Why? little did their brains realize, oh wait, because of the Imaginarium Theater, because that's a new game mode where, yeah, you guessed it, you can earn Primo Gems there too. So if you combine the two modes together, I guess you might earn more. Of course, that still didn't help because eventually when Hoyoverse started to notice that people were getting a little too good at the game, especially whale players, they started to up the difficulty. And not in terms of like level caps. As you know, the highest level cap that bosses can go up to is like 105, where your characters are always at 90. They're not going to change that. And not only that, the Imaginary Theater plays like a roguelike, where in each phase you get like certain upgrades. You get to you have to choose companions beforehand, and as you go along, you have to choose which companions you want to add to your party. But the choice of your party is limited because if you use them twice, they're gone. And you hope that one of the loot drops will allow you to call back that one character you want, or it could be random. So it's not a matter of skill, now it's just RNG. Spiral Abyss, on the other hand, the only RNG there is what kind of buff you will get. Buff and debuff. Like a double-edged sword, or maybe just a one-sided buff. But at least in the Spiral Abyss, it's about skill. And I guess if you're a pay-to-win whale player, sure. Again, it's all free Primo Gems. Plus, the Imaginarium Theater does give you some other types of rewards, such as character pose for photo mode, some kind of, they call it echoes, like skins, where your character has this effect that comes out of their bodies as they're like running or something. But of course, at the end of the day, people just want Primo Gems. You, me, everybody. Because especially free-to-play players. But in order to earn those Primo Gems, of course, you gotta work for it. Work hard for it. Make a team. Build a team of remarkable people so that you can fight the battles that others can never could. All right, I plugged that and plugged that in. Anyways, let me just see something here. I just want to count how many Primo Gems do you get in total if you do the Spiral Abyss. Assuming you get 3 stars on all of these. That's 200. Another 200. 200. Okay, 200 times 4, 800. Okay, so yeah, I was right. So you get 800 in the Spiral Abyss. How much do you get in the Imaginarium Theater, though? That one I never done the math on how many rewards you get. Oh no, you don't see it from here. Performance review. Okay, I'm gonna need hang on, I'm gonna need a calculator for this one. It doesn't seem, it's only consistent after Act 1 through 6. Where's my calculator? So through Act 1 through 6, 60, 60, 100, 60, 60, 100. And then the rest, the hardcore shite. 120, wow. And then 60, and then another 120. Oh, it's another 800. So if you were a whale player, by doing both the Spiral Abyss and this, you get 1,600, 1,600 Primo Gems, which equals to 10 free pulls. Wow, what a deal! No, and then this is like first time reward stuff, because I can never ever get to Act 10. No, I'm fine with just going 1 through 6. When I'm catching up to the story of ZZZ, first thing I'm gonna do is do the same routine. Getting materials in a different day for weapons and character level ups. Yes, always make plans, especially when you know some. Unlike ZZZ, Genshin's materials are, based on certain days when they become available. Which is unfortunate, which sounds unfortunate because, compare to Genshin. Wait, hang on a second. Let me just change the visuals here. Anyways, yeah, as you already know, Genshin, the way how they do their material drops, it's all based on schedules. Whereas ZZZ, yeah, there's no scheduling. Whatever material you're planning to grind, you can just at any day, any time, you can grind for those materials. But here's a little tip that I guess I could offer, that I guess in my opinion that more or less might work for somebody else, that might work for others. So what day is it today? Today is Friday, right? Yeah. So give me a moment. How do I do this? Or let me try to think how to explain this. So first off, as you already know, there is a thing, an item at the alchemy table. If you have at least 40 resins, you can go to the crafting table and make condensed resins, which is basically it's like 2 rounds of a domain, but you know what? No, you just get like double the rewards at a domain. It saves time. Oh yeah, so yeah, there you go. Or I can make 2. However, making condensed resins does require these crystal cores, which you can get from 2 ways. Assuming you Ratchet, if you have this gadget, the Crystal Fly Trap, which does have like a real-time cooldown when you use it. But to use it, you have to use ores, material ores, any kind, like iron chunks, white iron chunks, crystals, even this one. As for the Crystal Fly cores are found from these things, the little butterfly things here. Doesn't matter, even though visually they look like they have like different elements, they don't. They always drop. You always pick up the same material. Whoops. So I'm actually, hold on. Can I want to see if you can. I think you can, right? No, you can't. Dang it. I was hoping that you could. There's a function where you could where it pinpoints the location, but it doesn't. You have to pretty much remember where those crystal flies are located. So I've already given you one example. There's at least a total of 3 here in this waypoint in Mondstadt. So in case you're wondering what they look like, they should be here. Oh, here we go. Like these butterflies. Again, doesn't matter what element you see, it's always the same pickup. However, keep in mind, just like every wild animal you see, these butterflies will fly away as soon as they, well, spot you or you know, hear a noise. So yeah, they're pretty much found in like, I don't know. I never marked them myself. I just now base it off memory. As for that gadget, I was only given that through an in-game mail. But let me see. Let me see. For new players, how do you get this device? How do you get the crystal fly trap? To obtain the crystal fly trap in Genshin Impact, you need to reach a reputation level 3 in Fontaine. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Then I'm wrong. No, it's not. It's not an in-game reward. So if you haven't reached Fontaine, yeah, then it's gonna be a while. So if you know how the reputation works, then yeah, you just have to come to Fontaine, talk to this lady, or I guess you have to do the story first before the game allows you to do the reputation thing. Yeah, you come to Fontaine, and as the thing explains, it is a rank 3? Yeah, rank 3 reputation reward. So, yeah, once you get this, you basically... Oh, I already have it here. So basically, how do you use the device? You just open up your inventory, pull this out, but I already have it out. It's being used now. So as soon as you place it, then the device will ask you to offer some ores. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any 7 of the ores you have, I think you offer only 3 in quantity. After that, it's the waiting game. You just wait. I think it's like 6 days or a week until the trap is done. Once it's done, it always collects 14 of the 15 of the crystal cores. And once you pick up the device, do it again. Like, you can keep using this every week as long as you have, again, ores, which I'm going to assume you have plenty of these, right? Or this. Yeah. So yeah, going back to the condensed resins. Again, the idea of the condensed resins is it's a convenience to save time, because you know how when you go to a domain and you're grinding for, let's say, like a weapon material, it's usually just costs you like 20 resins per run, right? Like you collect the loot, and then you say like rinse, repeat, fight enemies, pick up loot, use resins. Condensed resin basically just doubles it. It doubles the reward rather than just you spending 20 resins. This doubles it, which is why it's asking you for a total of 40, and you can only carry 5 of these because, as you can see, the total of resins is 200. So yeah, it's a nice convenience to have this. So the tip that I have for condensed resins. So first off, let's take a material as an example. Like, let's say, since tomorrow is Saturday, right? Let's say you're grinding for... Let's say you're grinding for this material. And you know that it only comes out on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. But let's focus on Saturday here, which is tomorrow. So if you want to grind a whole bunch of these in one day, my suggestion is today, on Friday, go to the crafting table, make the condensed resins as much as you can, 4 or 5, and save it for tomorrow. So that on the next day, when you use the condensed resins, hey, guess what? On the next day, you can convert even more condensed resins. Because, you know, you spent today's resins and you spent today's resins to make these ones. Tomorrow, hey, look at that, your base resin has refilled. So basically what I'm saying is you can double down on the condensed resins in a single day. For me, for example, I usually do my Genshin dailies every morning. So I would get at least 4, maybe sometimes 5 condensed resins. And if I know that the material that I'm grinding for comes out the next day or another time, the next day, sorry. Then I save it for the next day. So that when I use the 4 condensed that I made yesterday, then I can make another 4 or 5 because, yeah, the next day you would have even more resins as it fills up in real time. I don't know if I made any sense of that, but yeah. Basically, yeah, just save the condensed resins if you know the material that you're grinding for comes out, say, the next day, tomorrow. Put it this way, you instead of the usual 4 or 5 per day of condensed resins, you would have like 8 or 10. So yeah, that's the advice. I'm sure somebody else out there would explain it more thoroughly on a video format, but yeah. Right. So with that out of the way, the new game mode is in Leeway. By now you should, or I don't know at what adventure rank you need to be to trigger it, but it's a permanent game mode, so you don't have to, you're not going to miss it. So by the time you are eligible, you will get a side quest on your mission, on your quest list. It'll tell you to come here, and you'll encounter 2 familiar faces, Kaching and Yelan, basically explaining, oh look, we have a ley line anomaly here, which, yeah, clearly you can tell, very, very ominous. But have no fear, this is pretty much where you come in. Basically, they were just using the cutscenes as like, yeah, this is a lore thing. But gameplay wise, no, it's a new game mode. It doesn't have anything to do with the main story. But it's good to see some familiar faces, you know. I haven't seen Kaching in a long time. Anyway, so what the heck is this? And why is there a fast travel when there's already one next to it? Also, be mindful. There are 2 uninvited guests that I killed earlier this morning. Anyways, so here is where you can also grind for artifacts. But unlike the artifacts that you fast travel here and there, you know, in the open world, this place, this onslaught, you can choose which artifacts you want. However, you don't choose specifically one type, which is what I assumed, but that was my that's my mistake. The correction is, yeah, just like it's like choosing a domain of a sort, right? But anyways, no. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Yeah, you just choose which artifact set you want to grind for. You can only choose one, of course. Not only that, yes, you do have. You can also earn a couple of moras and some companionship, depending on which party members you use. And yeah, it offers 3-star, 4-star, but of course you want to go for the 5-star artifacts, assuming that you're at a higher adventure rank. So once you choose, you press L3. Your left trigger to open up this menu and choose which artifacts you want. Once that's set, you do like a little test drive into side quests to get an idea on how it works. But after that, the real deal, like aside the tutorial style, the end game here is. You start off with 3 of the difficulties. Normal, the bosses are the 3 enemies are always bosses. And yes, you have to pay attention to not only the elements, what element has advantage over the boss, which one is a disadvantage, so that way you know how to set up your party. And of course, pay attention to all that stuff. Again, you gotta be a strong reader. Just in terms of like how the bosses fight. What else? What else? I'm trying to try to do this slowly as possible. Oh, you can do this in co-op as well. So just like any domains out there, yes, you can also do this in co-op mode. So yeah, don't worry. I'm sure somebody online could help you with menacing difficulty where the bosses are 100. Although that depends on what your adventure rank is, but maybe I might try that. Not today, but because I've already spent today's resins, I'm just now letting it refresh. So I usually just go with hard. What else? There are rewards, since this is a new game mode. And said rewards are, yep, you guessed it, Primo Gems. 150. You get 1 for clearing it on normal, advanced, and hard mode. So that's a total of, let's see, 450 Primo Gems. Afterwards, the other rewards are, this is the newest thing, which I'll get to later, because I'm sure this was offered for free for all players when the update went live. But yeah, and yeah, it has every right to be a rare consumable, because you can only get these on the highest freaking difficulty. You only get menacing when you beat hard, and you only get fearless when you beat menacing. But hey, again, you don't have to do it by yourself. You can do it online, co-op. But say if you just want to do it yourself, because yeah, you just want to have the thrill all on your own. Yeah. So you can enter. So as soon as you enter, you are timed. Right. That's like the biggest thing. You are timed on finishing off the bosses. So it's not just it's the same deal with domains when you're grinding for artifacts. But here, yeah, it's a race against time for you to defeat the bosses. If you don't defeat them on time, you don't get the reward. Hence why I'm sure you might want to resort to co-op if you can't do it on your own. But yeah, here, assuming that you are doing it on your own, just like the domain challenges, the weekly bosses, yes, you can set up your party members, and again, pay attention to which element has an advantage over the boss. Get some very highly detailed on the boss's intel, so you know what you're dealing with. And then, yeah, you can also set up your party members. Now, similar to the Imaginarium Theater, you'll notice there's a little purple arrow next to the characters. They label them as Exalted Ones. Exalted Ones, what does that mean? It means these characters will have their HP, attack, defense increased by 20% during the challenge. So, depending on what boss you're fighting and who are this month, since it's a monthly cycle, this month's Exalted Ones take advantage of those characters because they got the buff, that 20% extra bonus. But say they're not at the highest level cap, you can use other characters. I like how they just label as Exalted Ones and others. The ones that don't have this month's buff. Which is not an issue as long as, you know, it's your build, you know. You know, like, your main is not labeled here, but hey, if they're at level 90, 80, whatever, then yeah. Oh yeah, well, these two being a good example. They're only level 80 because I only put them at level 80. But yeah, if I want a pyro attacker, I could always use one of the Exalted Ones or another pyro character. It's up to you. But yes, I guess it would matter to use the Exalted Ones because, you know, when you're playing on the highest difficulty, of course, you want to kill the bosses as soon as possible because, holy frig, I think Menacing Mode, they ask of you to fight and kill a boss, which is level 100, and do it in 2 minutes. I could not even get the boss to like 50% on my own. So, whale players! So yeah, that is that. Oh yeah, and similar to, you know, I might as well just start. You can choose which boss you want to tackle after you complete complete all three, and then basically you're free to choose which boss you want to take on. Especially, you know, you most likely want to pick the one that's easy to take down. Hey, at least in hard mode, they give you 10 minutes to do this. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but nah, trust me. 10 minutes is doing you a favor. And then they just basically mark how many seconds it took for you. It doesn't matter, it doesn't reflect on the reward. And then, just like the weekly bosses, all bosses, you can, what was it? Get your reward using resins, condensed resins. Because yeah, here you get the artifact. And then once you're done, you can leave afterwards. And again, this is like the best place to like if you're already sick of the domains and fighting like cannon fodder, or depending on what kind of enemy you fight in the domain, you can always come here and fight some bosses if you wish. And again, you can freely choose which artifacts that you want to grind for, which one you want to set as your reward after you defeat the boss. On top of that, I didn't mention like another thing. It's not here. Actually, can you see it from here? Or is it? No, I think it's in the rewards page. I no, it wasn't the not here. Sorry, it was in the reward page. I think yeah. There was something that you may have noticed. You see that little bar there, dire accommodation. So, even aside of the rewards you get, because the rewards refresh every month, the dire accommodation, you earn the dire prestige points every time you complete a challenge and you pick up the reward. Every time it reaches to 1200, you get an additional bonus 5-star artifact. Or depending on your adventure rank, like if 4 star is your highest, then it will give you another 4-star. But assuming you are right now at 5-star, usually with condensed resins you get like 2 5-star artifacts. But once you hit the prestige, it'll throw in one more. And then it just cycles back to 0. And then it keeps grinding, and it'll just keep going and going as long as you spend resins to pick up your reward. Or then again, it already says it there. For every 120 gain, no limit, you'll earn an additional. Oh no, a total of 120. Sorry, not 1200. A total of 120. You will earn an additional 5-star artifact. Not sure what the dire combination was when you reach 1200. That I have to find out. What does that mean? Or is that no? That's Dust of Alignment. In the 10 days after the challenge is available, ley line disturbance will be in an outbreak state. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, no, that one, yeah, of course, it's 10 days after, so can't do it now. I can't witness it. Not sure what the additional rewards are, but okay, that's nice. Oh, and I guess it keeps track of your monthly records, like what's your fastest time for fighting all 3 bosses. And yeah, that's it, I think. Oh no, there's like apparently going to be some new type of reward that's going to be added in here. So it's funny how I mentioned how Monster Hunter Monster Hunter Wild is getting like weapon layer skins, right? Well, Genshin decides that, hey, we're gonna add in weapon skins now. So basically it's like any weapon you have, or I'm just gonna assume if you have like a 5-star weapon, if you thought this weapon doesn't look great, well, now they're gonna have weapon skins as a reward. However, you don't keep those rewards because it's limited time only for 40 plus days. Meaning you only keep the skin for that long and then it's gone. You wait until another weapon skin comes out. So nah. Don't go for it. I mean, assuming that Hoyoverse will learn that that's not what people want in terms of weapon skins. Oh yeah, there's a 4-star weapon skin as well, but just like the 5-star, yeah, no, it's limited time only. And you know what the worst part is? Especially 5-star weapon skins, they're not easy to get. It's another one of those cases of you got to get a good, have a good build to earn those high tier rewards. But unlike any other rewards you get out there, the fact that the weapon skins are limited time only, like even if you own it, you earned it, it's gonna be gone. And so far, that's what I've been hearing with Genshin fans. They are not liking the idea of Hoyoverse practically giving you a reward that you so earned, but it just disappears out of your hand. That's like if you paid a DLC, but then the companies can just rip it out of your hands, out of your hard drive. Do you think that sounds fair? Of course not. Now, sure, this is a live service game, and perhaps you didn't pay for it, but you definitely did pay for all the gotchas, the 5-star weapons, the 5-star characters, and possibly getting some characters to be at C6, you know? But to have an award that is not easy to get for everybody and have it ripped out of your hands 41 days later, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Hoyoverse is trying to do with weapon skins. If anything, that should have just... It should have just been like a permanent reward. I mean, dude, they gave us gliders. Tons of skin gliders, including some ones that you can't get today because KFC collaboration was a Chinese exclusive deal. And I think there was like another one, KFC, and there was like another restaurant they collaborated with. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's the new game mode. So now we have 3 ways to earning, well, free. I say sarcastically, free Primo Gems. You have the Spiral Abyss. You have the Imaginarium Theater. And now we have... I don't know how you pronounce that. I'll just call it Onslaught. And yeah. And again, if you're that good at Genshin with whatever build, you can get 800 Primo Gems here, 800 here, and 450. So that's like 12 pulls, I guess. But nah, not me. I cannot. I can only get 600 here. I guess 600 here, right? If I done the math right, or 400 here. At least the Onslaught, the Primo Gem rewards just requires me to play on hard mode, which yeah, not an issue. But yeah, this thing, I could totally live without it, but the problem is it's a really good item, which now I'm gonna get to, right? Explaining what that is. So yeah, that feather thing is a new item. I think, did I already use it? No, I don't think I used it, right? Hold on, let me make sure. No, I didn't use it. So yeah, what the hell does that feather thing do? Well, let's say... Okay, actually, no, Sucrose is a good example. So let's say your artifact is at level 20. 5-star artifacts is always at 20, and 4-star is like 16, right? But anyways, as soon as you maximize your artifact to level 20, you can then reshape it. As you see on the bottom right there, bottom right, it says reshape. What does that do? Well, with the feather of dust of enlightenment, entitlement, whatever, you can now choose, what is it? Select 2 of the substats that you want to reshape. In other words, like So you know how like sub stats in an artifact as you level up it'll just randomly choose which substats gets the upgrade. Well, with this feather thing, you can now choose two in this case, which substats you want to change to get the level up. A change perk, yes. Actually, another easy example. In fact, I was actually planning on using it, but then I thought, no, I'm good. So like here, so reshape. So yeah, obviously as I was leveling up the artifact here, I was hoping that crit damage would get leveled up, but it didn't. It was favoring leveling up defense, and look at it now. Now it's at 24.1%. Crit damage didn't get a single upgrade because, of course, it's RNG, which is why this item, that feather thing, comes into play. So you can choose which artifact gets the level up. So but that also means the previous ones, like I guess in this case, defense, will be reduced because you're favoring the substats that you want to level up to a substat of your choice. ZZZ already has this item, I believe. Oh, sorry, no, not yet. Honkai does. So Honkai did it first, and then Genshin. So eventually, ZZZ will have this too, but we just don't know when. However, like I said, this feather thing, this is the reason why it's such a rare item. You can't get this by normal means at all. You either get it from, this challenge when you're playing on, what is it? Fearless, menacing difficulty, and I think it's also on the battle pass. But I think it's the battle pass where you have to pay for the extra reward. How much do they offer? How many are they offering? There's one. Only one? Okay, well that's not good because the feather, in order to reshape your substats, you need two. So the fact that the battle pass only offers one, that doesn't look good. But I want to say it's optional. Well, okay, it's not a complete loss. Like I can feel free-to-play players like myself, like we wouldn't want to we definitely cannot take on high difficulty challenges. And battle passes, depending on who you ask, somebody will pay, somebody might buy the battle pass, somebody won't. But here's the thing. Again, it's not a complete loss. Say if you have an artifact that doesn't really have the best substats, then what can you do? Simple. Just keep grinding. However, yes, in terms of which substat is going to be leveled up, you just hope that the RNG goddess will tip in your favor, that whatever substat gets upgraded is the one that you're hoping that it gets upgraded. Like, just look at this. Crit damage. Wow, 4 times it got leveled up. Obviously, I'm not going to reshape this. This is perfect. I love that crit damage. But is it consistent? No, it's RNG. But this is why this feather thing is more or less kind of like a convenience. A game changer. But it is a rare piece of item. So the choice is yours. You can keep grinding for artifacts. Or, pay for that to get that feather thing, or struggle your ass off on on the onslaught. But hey, at least you can do the onslaught in co-op. Which I guess I can do. Actually, I'm kind of curious if you even earn that reward in co-op, because wouldn't that be too easy? Because this sounds more like something that you could. The rewards. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Oh no, fearless you have to do in single player if you want to get the feather, the second feather. But the first one doesn't say single player. So hey, that's good. You can just. Actually, no, that's fine. That's good. But I might as well test it. I'm gonna try tomorrow. I'm gonna try playing it in co-op. And what I'm going to do, out of the 3 bosses, I'm gonna probably choose this one. See, or actually, I don't know how it's gonna work in co-op, but I'll be the healer. I'll just heal and see how it goes. But in this case, though, this boss, there is no pyro healer. Oh wait, no, Cheverus is a healer. Yeah, I was a healer. Ugh. If these 2 bosses didn't have a hydro disadvantage, I would have used Barbara. I would just sit on the sidelines, heal. Yeah. But no, that's good. I guess you can just do co-op mode and at least earn just one of these. But keep in mind, this is, again, just like all the other game modes, Spiral Abyss and such, it is a monthly cycle. So it's not going to reset until, what, 31 days, 7 hours? Oh wow, they even try to be competitive by showing off your friends' records. How fast you can defeat the bosses. Not all at once, but like the time. They combine the time. And no, again, the time does nothing. It's just comparisons. It's like a leaderboard. Oh man, I still have to do this story. I heard that she plays the guitar. I got 10 days to get the rewards. Okay, I better do that soon. Don't do it by the last second like you did before gaming, you shitty head. Man, I don't know what happened to me. I used to do all the events as soon as possible. Like day 1, wait till the next day for the next round. Because usually the events are like day by day progress. Now I'm kind of like, I'm doing them like last 2 weeks before the next update goes live. Fatigue. It could be fatigue. But that's still not good. I mean, Genshin Story, I would just do it, no problem. Like, I wouldn't jump into it. Same thing with ZZZ. But Honkai? Yeah, you already heard me many times. It's like the story just... I don't know what's going on with the story. Why should I even care?
새로운 소식 좀 알아보러 갈까?
네 건강은 내가 항상 체크해줄게.
협동 작전. 그게 뭐지?
이건 운명이야.
Anything else? No, I think that's it. Actually, no, hold on. One thing I'm kind of worried, not worried, wondering. What's the Avenger rank you need to get that? Oh, excuse me. What's it called again? Sorry. The something onslaught. 20 or above. Players must be at least adventure rank 20 or above and have completed the Archon Quest Prologue Act 3 Song of the Dragon. Act 3 Prologue. How far is that? Wait, just this? Oh, okay. So you beat the Mondstadt the prologue chapter, and then you have to be adventure rank 20 or above just to unlock it. I mean, yeah, it does offer 4-star artifacts, so I guess that makes sense. Although by that rank, depending on your character builds, yeah, you got to be prepared to fight bosses at level 40 above. But wait, what's... Let me go back. What's the level cap for normal difficulty? I'm gonna assume it could be 60 or 70. I think it might be 70.
파고.
And oh, sorry, advance hard. Yes, advance 70, and then normal is 40. I'm gonna have to assume fearless is 105, just like the 12th floor in the abyss, spiral abyss. Ha, yeah, I'm not doing that. Never. Probably the reason why there's no co-op in the Spiral Abyss. I mean, the same goes for the Imaginarium Theater.
참모습을 부여하리.
I missed my shot, but it landed on his axe. Oh. Yes, today and yesterday, or I should say yesterday was Raiden Shogun's birthday, and then Yai Miko is today. And I think in the letter that Miko sent, she says, "I hear you're about to head to an interesting new region, one known as how do you pronounce that? Ilium, for drifters all across Tevat." Yai Miko already has predicted where we're heading off to. I mean, yeah, because next update is Genshin 5.8. We're going back to Inazuma because there's a new character in Inazuma, a animaton waifu. I don't remember her name. She's a pole arm spear user. And yeah, when I say animaton, like, you know, like that character from Persona 4, the young lady that has like a robotic arm leg. Yeah. Although her whole overall design more or less resembles like Noelle. So like something equivalent to a Japanese maid, I guess, but she can fight.
등실등실. 운명의 하얀.
But yeah. We're going back to Inazuma. probably do a festival, because I'm sure usually in every Genshin update there's a serious story, and then there's an event that makes you all cheery and happy. You know, play fun minigames with friends and all. And then after that, after July, after 5.8, August, just 1 month before the Genshin anniversary. Yeah, I know the timing could have been better. Like this is always the case with Genshin. Not on the anniversary, but just a month before.
운명이여.
We'll be entering the new region. Although Miko calls it Isium, that's not the name of the cryo region. Unless it's somewhere part of it. But no, it's definitely happening. 6.0 on August. But with Yaimiko mentioning it, the name like that, am I going to safely assume that we're not going to the final region
기와
this
정신을
year?
하나로.
They're gonna give us like a long ass intermission before before we ever get to meet the Cryo Archon. Because if so, you know, I wouldn't mind. We'll have like one long year just to explore a new region that isn't the Cryo Archon's home. Yeah. I'm sure it would be a downer for some folks. But hey, if that were to happen, think of it this way. If 6.0 is not the update that's going to bring us to the final city, the Cryo Archon's home turf, that's like another year of more characters from other existing regions. Did they tease the name? Yaimiko only teased it in her birthday message. So if you see it in the quotations there in the middle of the paragraph, that's apparently the name. But that is not the Cryo region's name. The Cryo region's name is
어디에서 왔-
which character can I view it from? No, not Archelino. Maybe Chilled? Maybe in his dialogue? Oh, here it is. Seriously, how do you pronounce that name? But yeah, that's the name of the Cryo region up there. Snez Naya? I have no idea. But yeah, it's definitely not the same name. Unless Islium is part of that region. So I'm already feeling a little skeptical that 6.0 is going to be the Cryo region. But unless Eslium is the name of like some other part of where the Harbingers live, the Cryo Archon lives, then yeah, we're going to the end game. Or end game part 1. Because yeah, don't forget, we still have another couple of years until we get to... Wait, where the fudge is it? Is it? It should be visible here too, in Inazuma. Is it not here? Well, you know the place, Celestia. Should be visible, very visible here. Sky's clear. Oh, there it is. So even when we meet the Cryo Archon, no, it's not over. We still need to climb up there somehow. Hoyoverse went out of their way. First it was a PNG in the background. Now it actually has a 3D model. But while you can hack the game and climb up there, no, there's nothing as of now. somebody also made up a map format of what it looks like, and apparently it's not that big yet. So anyways, yeah, we still have a long way to go. And yeah, again, we at this point, I don't know if the next major update 6.0 will be the cryo region or it's going to be something else, something in between, and not in the same vein as how they did that with the chasm and then that place. What's that place called? No, not that. No, not that one either. This place. I think that's what we're gonna have for 6.0. It's not gonna be a major region like these six. It's gonna be something in between. But again, that's my prediction. Prediction A, 6.0 will be the cryo region, or possibility B will be a new region, but it's not the cryo region. It's something else that will fill up on something for a whole year, and then 7.0 will be 7.0 will be the cryo region. But like I said, if we fall into possibility number letter B, again, don't look down on that. It just means we're gonna have more characters from all the other regions. I mean, yeah, sure, as if we already don't have enough characters to work with. But more characters just means more money for Hoyoverse, right? And it keeps they just in that sense, that's kind of like Hoyoverse trying to not only drag the whole story on, but they want to keep the game going, you know? 4 or soon to be 5 years this year, they can probably do another if they want. Heck, I thought Honkai Impact 3rd was done, but no, it's still going. I think they're in 8 point something. I don't know. I thought they were done, but no, that game is still going. Which, by the way, if you're curious, if you want to play Honkai Impact 3rd, you can download it free on your phone or on Steam. Yeah, I know, on Steam. Why isn't Genshin on Steam? I don't know. It was a funny time for Hoyoverse. They joined in when they made Honkai Impact 3rd on the mobile devices, which I played a long time ago. Yes, my phone was on fire, but it didn't blow up. But that was my first introduction to the company and the game itself, the Honkai. So and then I don't know when they started releasing their game on Steam, and apparently it got mixed reviews. People, I guess, didn't like it. And yeah, to be fair, it was Hoyoverse's first game, and first game to be localized. I don't know if they made any other games beforehand, but just like any game company, you know, you have a good start. Localizing, not that great, but hey, all it took was one game. One game to be a game changer. Zelda Breath of the Wild. and then Genshin Impact, yeah. And Genshin came out during the pandemic. So the timing more or less was justified, I guess, because people were already indoors. Us game dwellers were already hunkered in anyways. And yeah, I still remember to this day the first time they revealed it was in the PlayStation State of Play. I got excited for it. As far as I remember from the first trailer, they didn't show gameplay. It was just like in-game, no heads-up display. Oh, look, 3-player co-op? No, it's actually 4, but it's funny how they showed 3. And then saying, oh, yep, it's coming to PS4 on September 20th along with the mobile devices. And yeah, when it came out, it only took one week in its opening to already hit millions of downloads. And yeah, my dumbass brain thought, how do I get the characters? When do I get the characters? And it only took me quite a long time to realize what I was getting myself into. Because, to be fair, I have played gacha games before Genshin. I played, again, Honkai. I played Arc Knights, King's Raid, a bit of Azur Lane. So I did know what gacha is. It's just that when I looked at this game, unlike all the other games besides Honkai that I played, you know, those ones were like all in 2D. So usually back then for me, I thought 2D gacha, 2D game on phone, okay, it's a gacha. But 3D, unheard of. I didn't hear of any 3D gacha game. And heck, I didn't understand the terminology of gacha when I was playing Honkai. I didn't know how to get characters in that game. Or I kind of did know, but didn't know how to get the characters efficiently. Anyways, so yeah. What a fool I was. I mean, that's what the pandemic does to your mind. Confusion. And yeah, humble beginnings for Genshin. And that's pretty much how Hoyoverse created their foundation. Or I guess you could say, in fairness, Breath of the Wild did create that foundation of cel-shaded open world games. I mean, heck, how many games can you name where you see a character, I don't know, jump off a cliff and open up a glider? I mean, no, Breath of the Wild was not the first to do that, let's face it, but Breath of the Wild was, in a way, the one that brought it back. The idea of cel-shaded games and make them open world, and hey, let's have the character have a glider. Heck, Team Ninja got infected by the glider pandemic. Because Rise of the Ronin, guess what? You have a glider. And then a bunch of indie games where it's like those survival camping farming games. Yeah, you have a glider in those games. Elden Ring Night Rain starts you off with a glider. Well, not a glider, those birds. Except it was more like Fortnite, because you know you had to like drop at whatever location you and your squad are dropping in. But yeah, gliders, open world, profit. Oh, and yeah, make sure it's cel shaded. And like any other gacha game, make sure the majority of your characters are female. Because let's face it, there's not that many gacha games where the male character hits the market. I mean, Honkai, kind of. But I remember when Honkai Impact 3rd, Hoyoverse was planning to add in a male character, and guess what happened? The fans were like, what? A man? A playable man in Honkai? No. Don't you fudging dare. There cannot be a man in my Honkai gacha game. If you do, I will find you, Hoyoverse, and I will... Well, yeah, you know how it goes. And yeah, Honkai and Hoyoverse did not add in a playable male character. They did have some important male characters, yes, but I don't know if they added any whatsoever. And then, yeah, Honkai Star Rail was the only one game where they had an excuse to have a playable male character. And yeah, as the time went by, and I guess people kind of like forgive Hoyoverse. Because to be fair, when Genshin started adding male characters, they thought, oh yeah, look at Zhongli, look at D-Luke. And Chilled. Yeah, totally, let's have male characters in our Hoyoverse games. All is forgiven. What? I didn't say that things 5 years ago. What are you talking about? Shut up! I didn't send death threats to Hoyoverse for of them suggesting to have a male character. Anyways, yeah. That's what happened. Hey, male characters can still be profitable one way or another. You gotta give them a chance. And look at ZZZ. They got... Actually, you know what? No, scratch that. ZZZ has way too many female characters. But again, for obvious reasons. It's too marketable. Can you blame them? Pretty much a lot of gacha games, actually. Just look at Fire Emblem Heroes. Too many. I got no space left. Uh-oh. Man, you know, still to this day, we don't have the... They didn't bring back the female treasure hoarder. I'm already bored of these men, these boys, and running around with their shovels, hammer, and... What's that? What they call that paddle? Or some of them even chucking elemental beakers and knives. The female treasure hoarders, you should have seen them. Before we started seeing like other female enemies, mobs. Yeah, there was the female treasure hoarder. What did she do? She had an axe. And she had no fear of chucking it, smacking, and she had super armor. And she's small, the smallest of the group. Heck, I still remember years ago, the treasure hoarders mentioned that they had a leader that was actually female, which is no surprise, of course. And here we are. 3 years after they mentioned that they had a female leader, nothing. So now the only equivalents to a female human enemy mob with an axe is somebody from Sumeru. Here. Well, they're everywhere. And man, well, I get that it's just a regular mob, but they could have done better. Because all this young lady does is swing very slowly. Also, she splashes sand to blind you, but it's not the best blinding effect. Unlike how the shovel big boy treasure hoarder, where he throws dirt at you. At least that one was actually very efficient. Just 2 swings, and they are very, very... That's 1 swing. Where's you? That's supposed to be a 2-hit combo. Sand! Or, sorry, pocket sand! There you go. 2 hits. And then she has like 1 where she does like a heavy swing. No, that's not it. Yeah, every time she does like 2 attacks, she backs off, and then pocket sand. Does that really look blinding to you compared to how the shovel guy throws dirt at you? Treasure hoarder lady chucks the axe, man. Plus her axe is bigger. Yours is tiny. I guess she only does like that swing is supposed to be the 2-hit combo, but I guess she only does it when you're close. Hey, at least she got the spirit. She's holding the axe at the bottom end for increased range. Yeah, you could do a lot better. Oh, there it is. And that's it. That's the only 3 moves she's got. I mean, at least we do have other types of... there's other female mobs out there. but those ones use specific elements. Where's my female treasure hoarder? There's only like one that's hanging around in Leeway, and she's like always sitting there trying to look for something. And still to this day, 5 years later, or soon to be 5 years later, she's still looking for something. It's not a side quest, it's just one of those NPC cases they just stall and do nothing.
참모습을 부여하리.
How did you miss? I was willing to take that in and you somehow missed, sir. See? Look how more efficient the blind effect is compared to the pocket sand lady. Speaking of pocket sand, I heard King of the Hill's coming back on Hulu, I think. Was it Hulu or somewhere else? Funny it's not on Disney Plus, considering that Disney owns the IP, right? There you are. Hulu. Huh. Weird. Should have been Disney Plus, isn't it? Because isn't the King of the Hill owned by 20th Century? And, you know, 20th Century is owned by Disney? Or did the creators decided to jump ship and take their IP away before 20th Century was bought? Anyways, yeah, this is the lady. They actually used this model for the female treasure hoarder. Actually, they did reuse the female treasure hoarder in one of the side. I think it was a side quest in Fontaine, but then that was it. Same moves though.
만물에는 끝이 있지.
She could swing. She has super armor. She can chuck the axe at far distance. Bring her back. Anyways, yeah, King of the Hill. I did see the. Hulu is owned by Fox and then owned by Disney. Oh. So wait, if... Oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, then that still doesn't make sense. Why would... Then why would it be on Hulu instead of Disney Plus? If Hulu is owned by Fox and Fox is owned by Disney... Huh, that's kind of weird. Wait, wouldn't that mean Disney has two streaming platforms? Disney Plus and Hulu? Do they earn profits out of Hulu then? And here we are. This is exactly the problem why people are saying we have too many streaming services that offer more or less the same crap. Similar movies, but they only make it worth your while when they say, oh, you can only watch Sonic the Sonic the Hedgehog movie on Paramount Plus. Nowhere else. Well, unless you rent it or buy it on the Xbox store. Same thing with the Mario movie. Mario movie, you can buy it on Xbox or rent it on Xbox. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of weird. But anyways, all that aside, yeah, they showed off the opening for the King of the Hill. They still kept the same opening theme, except that teaser
어디에서 와서 어디로
tells a
가는가?
story. Like if you haven't seen it, no, I'm sure by now most people would have already seen it. They did. That's great. What was it? So that teaser where it's they replicate the opening of the show. According to some theories, it's a time lapse of 8 years of the characters, what they're
신호는
going
세상의
through.
그림자 같아. 언제나 그곳에서
And-
영원히 존재하지.
What was it? I think the creators did share some insights, like what happened at the end of the last season, and why did the Hill family leave the neighborhood? Yeah, because if you saw the teaser again that
어디에서
replicates the
왔어?
opening,
어디로 가는가?
they left. They moved out. And according to the creators, Hank and his family Hank was given a job promotion after multiple decades because he never got a promotion up until now where as you know, he sells propane and propane accessories. So he was given an opportunity to go to apparently Saudi Arabia for more propane promotion on his job. That's why he left. As for Bobby actually gets to pursue his career to be a cook because that's how the last season ended. He was interested in artistic view and cooking, and it's amazing how we get to see what he looks like. I think in the age of 20. But going back to the opening, like I said, it tells a story of what happened during when Hank was around, and then when he left, what were the gang doing? And if you catch it frame by frame, you can just feel like the storytelling of what has happened in those past 8 years. And then Hank and the family came back. Hank, his wife, his son, they came back. And in similar fashion, like how the opening ends, where Hank throws out the trash. Instead of the trash can, it's the election sign. Because apparently one of the characters, I forgot his name, the guy with the glasses, the guy who literally says pocket sand. That's what I was referencing. Apparently he's gonna be the mayor or president or something. Dale. I was thinking it might be Dale, but yeah, Dale's gonna be president apparently, or mayor. I don't know.
만물에는 끝이 있지.
It's gonna be funny to see how the writers are going to come up with whatever idea they have for that. Either he's already elected or he's still running, like trying to run as candidate. Bobby was leaked on Twitter. But they pretty much already revealed what he looks like. Oh, and apparently, the guy, I don't know his name, the character that bullies Bobby, apparently time went by and now they're like friends. Apparently they're both going to be like working in the same restaurant or something. But that's just another theory that I've heard, or I think it was actually an insight. Yeah, that was like unfortunate. I heard what happened to it was Dale, right? The voice actor of Dale. Yeah, very unfortunate. I'm sure they're gonna, in old-fashioned style, they're going to say, in memory of the voice actor. He was such a great. Dale was such a great character. Definitely the character, the comedy relief character. He's all comedy. I'm not someone who watches King of the Hill as much as like SpongeBob, but every now and then back then when I was a kid, I used to like watch it time to time. Something more or less like how I watch Simpsons. Definitely had its funny moments. Back then for me, what made me remember King of the Hill for sure was always Hank and Dale. And I guess honestly I'll say sometimes some YouTube poop videos. But that only solidifies how much I do like Hank.
기와 정신을 하나로.
Excuse me. I don't know where I read it or where I heard about the story, heard the news, but apparently Simpsons is gonna end soon, this year, I think. After, what, 30 seasons or something? That's gonna suck. That's gonna be another case. If it's true, that's gonna be another case of end of an era. And then maybe 10 years later, we'll see the return of it. Just like how they did, how Hollywood tried to do that with King of the Hill and Animaniacs. What's next? We're gonna have the return of the Super Mario Brothers show? Nah. Nintendo had already showered us with so many Saturday morning cartoons. While honestly, I'd say the Mario cartoon show did correlate to the video games, but not Zelda. Definitely not Zelda. I want to see. Hang on. I want to see if Skirk. How fast can Skirk alone take on my samurai punching bag? I can't believe I spent most of my Primo Gems just to get this 5-star weapon. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this. So as you know, the weapon banner does have a dedicated fate point, a dedicated feature called fate points, or point. Sorry, you only earn one. So what that is, it's just basically like, say if you didn't get the weapon of choice that you clearly selected, your next 5-star pull will be the weapon of your choice. So I don't know why they needed to do that, considering that's no different than the character banner. Because, you know, there's 50-50 and then there's pity. It's just funny how Hoyoverse put in a visual thing as proof that there is something called pity. But they don't have that with character banners. Which even they know. We all know it exists. There's 50-50 and pity. I guess the difference is that you choose a weapon, but even when I chose this weapon, I still ended up getting the other one. I don't know, that's just like one funny thing that I wanted to shout out. It was a pretty weird choice. Why are you still blocking? I'm hitting your back. I still have one more piece of artifact to level up, so she ain't exactly 100%. Well, after this month's weapon pull, I'm not gonna do it again. I spent all my Primo Gems, man. If it wasn't for that 50-50 loss, then yeah, I would have had a couple more left over. But that's the life of gacha. What can you do?
충분해. 잘 부탁드려요. 이건 운명이야.
As in terms of who has the highest HP, Sigwin has the highest HP. I mean, aside of the double hydro bonus, nah, she's still above 50k. Yeah, because her healing is scaled by HP. On top of that, I gave her the weapon that also gives her more HP. And the weapon does some AoE damage based on 80% of her HP, so voila. I still remember I skipped on Sigwin because I thought to myself when she first came out, do I need a healer, let alone an archer healer? Technically we already have an archer healer, except she's a cryo. Diona. She's next. I need to level up her artifact. I already got the stuff she needs. But at least she provides whatchamacallit, shield, ice shield. And I think the shield is scaled on her HP. Yeah, dang. So I kind of want. So that means she'll have a strong shield then. The bigger her HP is. So yeah, I had to I forced myself to skip on Sigwin. As of now, I think I got her in a rerun. Yeah, I got her on a rerun.
실례할게. 근데
However, would I say she's worth pulling? Well, just like my initial opinion, it's just kind of optional. If you already have like a good healer in your team, then yeah. Then I say you're fine. But if you are just gonna do it for the sake of, I guess, waifu collection like me, sure. But do not be fooled by her presence. She is not a child. She has lived over 100 years. Plus her backstory. It's an interesting one. She wasn't always like human looking. She was just asked by, I think it was her mentor, that she wanted to look human. Because there was a child who was in need of medical care, but it was at a time when Fontaine weren't back then, when they were not a fan of those people. I don't know how to pronounce the species. Yeah, these people. They were not a fan of them back then. But don't worry, it ended pretty well. But it was a struggling time. So, in order to desperately help the young child, Sigwin had to take a potion to make her look human, despite having literally those ears. But hey, nobody questioned it, because she was wearing a cloak. In hopes that the plan might not work, that's why she was wearing it. And then, hey, a couple of years later, she meets the same small girl, except she's a grandma. Top-notch Hoyoverse storytelling, as always. Speaking of which, I did hear that some people are saying Genshin's story is not that great. Which, I'm not going to argue back. If it's not your cup of tea, then that's fine. I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. No, of course not. Please. Stories come and go, man. It's like, do you like the story of the Mario series? Like, well, that depends on which Mario game you're talking about, of course. Or, I guess, Sonic games. Some Sonic games have like good story, and some that have very, very questionable ones. Like Sonic Frontiers definitely has good storytelling, character development, character relations, because it's a Sonic story for longtime fans and even those who are new to the series. Heck, they even give you a flashback of how Knuckles met Sonic in Sonic 3. And then, what's a bad Sonic story? Sonic 06. What do you think? I mean, it could have been good, but I don't think people are going to forgive Sega for the whole, what they say, bestiality. Sonic getting kissed by a human. Oh, please, come on. You know, that was a concept back in 1991 when they were making Sonic. Ugh. 10 minutes, okay. I'll probably be AFK for a long time. I gotta do something later. But yeah. So yeah, of course. Some people... Obviously, I know people won't like the story in Genshin. Some would probably say, it's all over the place. Which, yeah, it kind of is. You have a three-way story. Yet, aside of the multiple character stories, you have the traveler looking for his or her brother or sister. You have the Archon story, where they always mention about the Archon War. And then some more backstories of where the traveler came from. Yeah, it's all, yeah, like I said, it's all over the place. And yeah, whatever excuses that people have. But like I said, it's not worth the breath if somebody doesn't like Genshin or a Genshin story or a Genshin as a whole. That's their opinion. I will stick to this game until the end. Whatever that end may be. Live service or the story. Or hell, even when the main story is over, I doubt that's the end of that. If they did not finish Honkai, let me try to word it out. If they did not end Honkai despite having a story that I swear I saw how it should have ended, but yet they still keep going, then yeah, I can imagine Genshin could be the same. Well, if not, the same case, doesn't matter. As long as I get to see the end. Whatever that end may be. And then I'll just say to everybody, I was here, I was there. And it's now embedded into my head for the rest of my life. For better or for worse. But mostly for the better. The case of, I will die on this hill alone if I have to. And there is nothing in the world that can change my mind. Speaking of which, I'm actually thinking of giving Wuthering Waves a second try. Maybe, honestly, I wasn't a little fair with it. I've only given the game like 1 week to get the gist of it. But no, I am not going to spend any money on that one. No, thank you. I've already done enough with that, literally with Genshin and Honkai and now ZZZ, so... Yeah. But there is another gacha game. I think I mentioned it a long time ago. Or a couple of months ago. Silver Palace, I think it was called. It's like it's another anime gacha game. But hey, it has a Victorian style. You know, like Bloodborne. But no, it's not very Bloodborne-ish. It's just a Victorian setting, anime characters using Unreal Engine 5. Like if you've seen Code Vein, it's kind of like that similar style of anime. Not like cel shaded, but kind of like realistic. Kind of, yeah. And they showed off. There is gameplay you can see, like full course, including a boss fight. And your main character is, yeah, like the not a created character, avatar character. You are a purpled hair male, female detective. And while it is a bit of a fresh of breath, how do I say it? Fresh of breath air, because one of the mechanics has you not only playing detective in terms of like finding clues, solving a case, you can even, I want to say like Hitman style, subdued a person or a security guard. Yeah. Although what's funny is the way how you subdued a person, because said person is a robot. And what's funny is that your character shoves a syringe in said robot, and I'm like, how does that work? Because it just looks like a regular syringe, a needle, yeah, but unless they have a strong needle that punches through the veins of a robot, I don't know how that works. And yeah, in terms of negotiation, you could choose to continuously beat up. Like it's like in the form of like not like a QTE, but it's like a standstill kind of moment, and you have two options: punch or execute the suspect to have them cough up the clues and evidence. Other than that, though, the combat. Oh yeah, you can also ride a horse that can drift. Drive a car, yes, because Victorian era does have cars. And then as for combat, so similar to God of War, literally like God of War, you have HP and a stun gauge. Literally like God of War, when the stun gauge hits to max, you can perform an execution. Or I guess not. It doesn't always guarantee a kill. Maybe like a critical hit. Your character does like an grab animation of a sort, execution, and then do some massive damage. Meanwhile, Kratos, he executes everybody. Actually, with bosses, no, he will just do a critical damage. So no, pretty much like God of War. So yeah, that's another Chinese developed game that's going to, I wouldn't say be the Genshin killer, because first off, you can't call anything a Mario, Sonic, Genshin killer. Not until you see how well it performs in its 6 months, first year, and then second year. Especially first year. Even if it somehow makes, even if a new live service game can make a lot of revenue, that's still nothing compared to how much Genshin has up to this day. Or any gacha game to this matter, like Azur Lane. And yeah, you have to also take into account to developers' point of view. Like, to them, what is their target number? Like, they're not going to compare their numbers to Genshin. Usually game developers have to focus on their own numbers. So in this case, if they hit 1 million downloads, that's something worth celebrating. Or to them, if they think it's something worth celebrating, then they're going to tweet out, hey, our game hit 1 million, we're going to give out some free rewards. Our game hit 2 million, we're going to give out rewards, etc., etc. Keeps going. So, yeah. That's always like the one thing to keep in mind of. Don't be like the drones of fan bases where they're like, oh, this game sold 1 million in its opening weekend. It's already better than Genshin. No. That there is an example of being biased. And it's so on point when some fangirl starts comparing their new favorite game to something else that is considered overrated. Because yeah, trust me, people who make comparisons, especially Asians, a lot of Asians, even me, like I do a lot of comparison, as you can tell. Comparing is like the lowest low of trying to shame another game because it's quote unquote overrated. Yeah, do not follow those people unless they start realizing the consequences of what they said. Like me. Although, yeah, you know, for me, it takes time. Like one day, the next day, I'm like, oh man, I said something stupid. But yeah, no, for real, like, don't be those people. You want to listen to the people who have unbiased opinions or somebody who gives out an honest opinion. So, yeah. So by the time whenever that game comes out, Silver Palace or whatever, excuse me, only listen to the unbiased folks out there. The people who spend plenty of time on the game, on the game and you know, give out insights, the pros and the cons. Because that's also another thing. When they start when somebody throws out an opinion, if they only talk about the positives, don't listen to them, because if they don't end their review by talking about the negatives as well to balance it out, then no, those people were just paid to say good things about it. I mean, yeah, sponsors only want to hear good things. That's common, but when we're talking about unsponsored ones, yeah, again. Don't listen to the biased folks. You want to hear the good, the bad, right? Think about it. If you're planning to buy a game like, let's say, the next Call of Duty, you want to know not only just the good stuff. You want to also know what are the bad stuff. Like what is there to be cautious about? Like if they leave out and not tell you that there's no microtransactions, and then you buy the game and you find out yourself there is, then think about it. That's a waste. Then you just wasted your money, because maybe you're that one gamer that doesn't like a game that has microtransactions. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure their Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is gonna have it. So yeah, you know, just. And that's the point of a review of a product. You have to be fair. Don't be... It's literally unfair if you only talk about the positives. You want to make it worth the while of somebody. And you know, especially Nintendo game prices these days, dude, $100 for first-party games. You want to make sure that your next 3D Mario game is worth the purchase, or the next Mario sports game. Because God, I tell you what, I'm still scarred by Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. The desperation for a new Mario Tennis game, yeah, I felt it. I was there. Was it worth it? No. Because we then later got Mario Tennis Aces. I got ripped off, man. A lot of people did. To those who did buy Ultra Smash. So... that's why reviews, unbiased opinion reviews, are important to listen through. I should have done that, but my foolish unconscious was like, get it now. There hasn't been another Mario Tennis game in decades, man. Get it now. Because you'll never know when the next Mario Tennis game came out. But hey, came out like 2 years after. And then we got Mario Strikers. Mario Golf, right? I think we got a Mario Golf game. Wait, did we get a Mario Golf game? Oh, yeah, we did. Wait, did we? No, we did. But yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah. I was like suddenly getting flashbacks to Mario Tennis for the 3DS, and then that Mario sports mix game successor on the 3DS. They should bring back Mario 3-on-3 hoops. Mario Super Golf. Was that really the top? Oh, I think it was. Oh, wait, yeah. No, now it's coming back. I remember that funny game mode where once you swing a golf, when you hit your golf ball, you have to like run it down and get to where it landed. All the while trying to slow down other players. Yeah, I remember that. What time is it now? Actually, no. Now would be a good time as ever for me to, yeah, hit the hay. Plus, I have to leave. Like, shoot, when did I get that text? Well, probably now. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'll see if I will be able to stream tomorrow. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll see if I have time to stream. Okay, I better get going. I'm actually going overtime. All right. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will then see you guys in the next stream. You have a good day, good night. See you, folks.